Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Wealth and Wisdom with Fred Belcastro from the John DeVita Broadcast Center on the Windy City Hometown Entertainment Network and Jack FM 89.7 WRHS FM Norwich on Thursday, June the 4th, the year of our Lord 2015. And now, here he is, Fred Belcastro.
Smiling when you're smiling, and the whole world smiles with you. And when you're laughing, oh, you're laughing. When the sun comes shining through. When you're crying, you bring on the rain. Stop your sighing. Won't you be happy again? When you're smiling, keep on smiling, and the whole world smiles with you.
Good morning and welcome once again to the Wealth and Wisdom program. I'm your host, Fred Belcastro, and during the next half hour, we'll talk about using our wisdom to grow and protect our wealth. This program, as always, is broadcasted from the John DeVita's Broadcast Center here on the northwest side of Chicago, and we're fortunate, as always, to have John DeVita at the controls. The controls are some 400 to 800 switches and dials that he, and only he, knows how to adjust to keep the programs on the air. The program can also be heard, and I want to make a change here. For the next 2 months, for June and July only, the program will be heard on Thursdays from 11 until 11:30. That's Thursdays from 11 to 11:30, changing it from Friday. It's going to be Thursday for June and July. And that'll be heard, of course, on Jack FM 89.7 WRHS out of Norwich. I remember years ago when we were kids, maybe 2 or 3 years ago for some of us, and others maybe 40 or 50, we played a game called Ready or Not. Remember, we would hide our eyes, cover our eyes, and we'd count. Maybe we'd count to 20. Let's say we counted to 20. And at the end of covering our eyes and counting to 20, we would shout out something, "Ready or not, here we come." And then it was our goal then to locate our playmates wherever they might be hiding so that they would be it, as it says, and then they would have to cover their eyes. And the game went on and on and on until the street lights went on, and then, of course, we'd have to get home. But nevertheless, it was ready or not, here I come. And I want to play a game, as always, with us, with you, concerning ready or not. Here I come, and we can call it retirement, ready or not. Because if you're serious about our retirement, we should know and put in place answers to these 4 questions I keep talking about. Question number 1, what rate of return do we have to earn on our savings and investments? Not the segmented, not the fractionalized savings and investments. By that I mean not the kids' wedding funds, or not the 529 school funds, or not just the 401ks or the IRAs, but the total amount. Overall, what rate of return do we have to earn on our savings and total investments to be able to retire at our current standard of living? Do we have enough money? How long will the money last through our life expectancy? Number 2, how much more do we need to save? Let's say we're short, and our rate of return is a drastic rate of return. How much more do we need to save? Well, on a monthly or annual basis, however we accumulate our dollars or warehouse our money. Number 3, doing what we're currently doing, if we do no more, how much longer are we going to have to work? The program I worked just the other day was bringing an individual. We looked at stopping at 65, which is, I don't know why, but we just always seems to use that because of Social Security when it was put into place with Roosevelt. They used age 65 as normal retirement date. Anyway, we were at age 65. This family has to continue working until they're 71. But the point is, their eyes are no longer covered. They know where they're going. And that's the whole purpose of this retirement ready or not. Or here I come, ready or not. Because when we talk about things coming upon us, That's the future. The future comes upon us, and we're either going to be ready or not. Does it make any sense to keep our eyes covered? Or at least let's take a look at some of these possibilities. How much longer are we going to have to work in order to be able to sustain a life, a retirement, a lifestyle for our life expectancy? And if we don't do that, the fourth point is, if we don't do anything different than what we're doing today, how much will we have to reduce our standard of living? Nobody wants to reduce their standard of living. So let's get the answer to these questions. I can give you the answers in less than 10 minutes over the phone. Give me a call, 630-673-4360. Let's uncover our eyes and see what these answers are. It's our money. Speaking of our money, another area that I've talked about, and when I talk about in the last sequence of programs, we're talking about transferred money, dollars that are wasted or seemingly passed over. We want to make an investment. In other words, I listen to programs, and I passed stores that advertise investments and various programs, and everyone's got a Aladdin's lamp that'll produce a genie with an investment or solutions to solve all of our problems. So we would really want to make an investment that would perhaps give us an extra $50 a month when we're leaving $200 a month that we already have earned on the table. Your Social Security, and this is what I'm talking about. A family benefit analysis. Do you have a customized report to give you a family benefit analysis? Do you know what your projected outcome for the best and worst situations are going to be, just merely on your choices of how you're going to receive your Social Security at 62, 63, or 70, or whatever the age is? Do you have a map of your outcomes of each election age so that you know what combination of dollars you're going to have coming in? You say, why would you do it? It could be worth $150,000 through your benefit lifetime to make these decisions. What kind of an investment return do you have to take a chance on and have to risk your funds today, your lifestyle money today, to be able to give you a guaranteed $200 a month more when you retire? Do you see why I start by saying, listen, let's avoid the unnecessary transfers of our money. Let's take what's already on the table. Kenny Rogers had that song, you got to know when to hold 'em, know when to fold 'em. Are we sitting there with a royal flush, and we're going to get up from fold because we just want to keep our eyes covered and say, ready or not, here I come? Let's take the blindfolds off and say, what does Social Security have in store for me? What type of switch strategies could I use to further increase my Social Security benefits? You know, for a lot of people, Social Security is one of the biggest income streams that they have at retirement. So, it's adjusted annually, although they sometimes, I believe, play with the figures of inflation, but it's adjusted annually. There's a cost of living, supposedly a cost of living increase. It's tax advantaged for the most part. It's also, it could be taxed as high as 85%. You've got to be careful when you do your tax preparation. Your tax preparer is aware of those things, but we should be aware of them prior to receiving the money so that we could make adjustments in our tax planning. Your Social Security will continue, we hope, at least for as long as you live. So it's the only guaranteed stream other than a city pension or a qualified pension that is geared to last throughout our lifetimes that we'll have. And for many people in our listening audience here in the Norwich area, this will continue for as long as we live. And of course, it's backed by a government promise. What? A government promise, huh? Yeah, well, okay, we could talk about that too. But what's at stake here? Thousands and thousands of dollars. So rather than just walk out of the Social Security office with our blinders on, let's take a look at maybe filing and suspending benefits or some of the various switch strategies. It doesn't cost you a dime. It doesn't cost you anything. You're sitting there with a royal flush. It's up to you to be able to say what's in the pot. let's take a look at what's in the pot and not be so anxious to say, oh, what's a good investment? Oh, will this give me $50 or $100 a month at retirement? If I'm lucky, if I avoid all the risk, when you already have 100, 200 that's there for you right on the table, don't get up and walk away. Don't rush to buy a product or listen to that monkey who throws a dart at the board and hits a various stock, and you say, yes, that's going to solve all of our problems and be the answer to all, a solution to all of our problems. No. First of all, let's be concerned about what we've got. Be thankful for what we've got. Let's make the most of it. It's ours. Don't get up from the table leaving a pot of money there. Maybe $50, $100, $200 a month. 630-673-4360. Many of my clients, I do the tax preparation work each year, and I belong to various associations. One of the associations is the National Association of Tax Preparers, and this summer we receive a journal quarterly, and this summer's journal had an interesting article. Now, this is something that touched our hearts last year, about a year and a half ago. We didn't talk much about it because it at that time didn't affect any of our clients. However, now this article brings out the recent news. Should be concerned to all of us in the investment community and tax preparers as well, concerning the tax-favored savings that are under scrutiny by our lawmakers. Remember, anything that people can give you, can they take it away? Anything that the government can give you, can they remove it? Well, now it seems as though both of the the Roth IRAs and the traditional IRAs are under scrutiny concerning the amounts of money that can be accumulated. Right now, they talk about just taking care of the what they call the wealthier investments, and how they want to limit the amount of dollars that they could perhaps put into their retirement plans. But eventually, that'll trickle down to you and I, I'm sure. Now the article goes on to say that the tax-favored status of the IRA began in November of 14. Beginning with the release of the GAO report on so-called the mega IRAs. This is where they started with the big amounts of money. These mega IRAs had values of over $5 million. They had $5 million in their IRAs, and the scrutiny will probably not only expand to those individual accounts, but to come down to the smaller balances as well. After that report, the chairman of the Senate Finance Committee, Ron Wyden, asked the IRS to examine all self-directed IRAs to detect fraud. And this is how if the foot in the door is, first of all, they're going to protect us because we all want to be protected, right? We talk about protecting our money. Everything has to be guaranteed. Everything has to be without risk. And so they'll get their foot in the door by saying, listen, let's see how we can detect fraud to protect the people. And then while we're doing that, we'll also take some action against the larger IRAs, and we'll look at some of the IRAs that are a little smaller. He noticed that there's 600,000 taxpayers that had IRAs worth $1 million or more. So now they're starting to leave the mega, the $5 million IRAs, and start looking at the $1 million IRAs, and that'll come all the way down to the individuals having $1 million or less in their IRA. A second attack on the IRAs happened in February of this year, 2015. President Obama, in this 2016, Obama proposed a retirement saving cap. And this is what we were referring to a little earlier. This is limiting the amount of money that we can have in these 401ks and IRA accounts. Why? They want to generate revenue and balance the budget. You remember last week we spoke about, would you take out a loan? Would you blindly go into a program and not know what your expenses or what the costs of that program would be, what the value would be at the end of or at the conclusion of that program? So we could look at our qualified savings accounts, the 401s and the IRAs, a little bit differently by saying, do we know what rate we're going to have to repay those? What's the interest rate? Well, here they're talking about closing the loopholes on these large 401ks and the Roth IRAs because they need money in order to balance the budget. Regardless of the treatment in this budget, they're not going to do on it this year because the elections are coming up. So that's going to table it. But the point is, what can we do about it? Are we going to close our eyes? Since the beginning of the program, since the beginning of the time when I've started this ranting and raving, as I call it, about situations, open our eyes and look. There are other investment alternatives, perfectly safe, that we could meander some of the money into. It doesn't have to be just in a qualified plan. Listen, some years ago, there was several books written concerning the 401k hoax that was perpetrated on the American people. We don't have to get into that right now, but it addressed the very fact that these things are being taken away and manipulated, depending on, I think, the political scene at the time. I'm not going to get into that, but we as individuals should be aware that they will make changes. And so if we're putting all of our eggs in one basket, we're 401, 401, 401, 401, 401, 401, and we got IRA, as big as things in sliced bread. It's on the same, nearly the same level as motherhood, apple pie, and the American flag. Stop it. Stop that type of thinking, and let's take care of ourselves. Let's worry about the money that we've accumulated and that we put in our bathtubs or in our mattresses, or, let's just be a little smarter. Let's use a little more wisdom and not run along with the herd. And because these things are going to be taken away. And when they take away from us, you think they can't? They will, because they're looking for revenue to balance the budget.
Your hat, the way you sip your tea, the memory of all that. No, they can't take that away from me. The way you smile just beams, the way you sing off key, the way you haunt my dreams. No, they can't take that away from me. We may never meet again on the bumpy road to love. Still I'll always keep the memory of the way you hold your knife, the way we dance till 3, the way you've changed my life. No, they can't take that away from me. No, they can't take that away from me. Changed my life. No, they can't take that away from me. No, they can't take that
If that voice sounded familiar, that's the voice of Goldfinger. That's the lady who sang those Goldfinger themes, singing a 1937 song, Can't Take That Away From Me. That was Shirley Bassey, by the way, and that was recorded in 1959. All right, smart guys, can't take that away? Where are the pensions, the guaranteed pensions for these young people? You see, they're all replaced with a 401k or individual IRAs. And we've seen in these recent articles the government, the President Obama is looking to put in legislation to cap some of these benefits as well. Can't take that away? They sure can, and they sure do. So brings us back to the theme of the program. What do you think is more valuable? Is it the investment? Is it the 401? Is it the IRA that they can be modified, adjusted? What happened to the pension plans? Many young people are starting off in their careers now without guaranteed pensions. You apply for a position and they offer a wonderful 401 and who knows what the status of that is going to be in the next 10, 20, or 30 years. So when we look to institutions for our solutions, the bank, investments, mutual fund companies, investment houses, you've got to look at what they're bringing to the table. You're sitting there with a royal flush. There's a pot of money in the middle of the table. You've got a choice of your Social Security benefits. And do you want to take a risk and take that pot and just throw it into an investment? Or do you want to see what's in that pot first that you're already entitled to? And we've got to look at the world of finance, what the financial institutions are delivering, because they have nothing more than products to sell. And it's a shame that too much focus is always on the product when the focus should always be on the swings, which is of course the process. We talked about the swing in baseball. Do we need a bat? Do we need a product? Well, of course we do. To win in a world of finance, though, you're going to not only need a bat to play, but a product or bat, and the bat is not as important as the correct swing. Rather than taking a client straight to the financial bat rack, we're looking at products or various investments that they can hit home runs with. The check and see what product they want. They should go to the batting cages first. They should look at the process, look at the dollars that are already on the table, the dollars that they're already entitled to, because a great product and a poor process will still keep you in the minors. A great process, a system, a methodology, and a poor bat might still get you into the playoffs. So while so many companies and so many stars on the radio and on television and so many books are so busy showing off how great their product is, that you'll never get on the base. You want to find a product, just listen and just look at any ads, pick up any magazine, the financial information. You'll see pages after pages after pages of great products. Which is the best one? So nobody's talking about the right swing. Nobody's talking about the right process before they get to those products. Why would we leave $200 a month on the table, $100 a month on the table, and invest our money in a risky Listen, I sell products too. I deliver products too. But before I do that to a client, let's clear these things up. Let's look at those transferred monies. Thousands and thousands of dollars are given away incorrectly, unnecessarily, and needlessly. All people are looking for today is where they're going to put their money. Where do you put your money? What's the best thing to do? That's the answer to all of our problems. But let's take a look and see what a few people where they're putting and investing their money.
Oh, when the sun beats down and burns the tar up on the roof, and your shoes get so hot you wish your tired feet were fireproof. Under the boardwalk, down by the sea, the boardwalk. People walking above under the boardwalk. We'll be falling in love under the boardwalk. Boardwalk. From the park, hear the happy sound of a carousel. You can almost taste the hot dogs and French fries they sell. Under the boardwalk, down by the sea, yeah. On a blanket with my baby is where I'll be. Under the boardwalk, out of the sun. Under the boardwalk, we'll be having some fun. Under the boardwalk, people walking above. Under the boardwalk, we'll be falling in love. Under the boardwalk, boardwalk. Blanket with my baby is where I'll be. Under the boardwalk, out of the sun. Under the boardwalk, we'll be having some fun. Under the boardwalk, people walking above. Under the boardwalk, we'll be falling in love. Under the boardwalk, boardwalk.
I said it with tongue-in-cheek. We're not going to suggest putting your money under a boardwalk, but we hopefully enjoyed that song from the Drifters in 1964. All right, listen, getting back to what I talk about, we talk about saving our money. With all the transfer problems that we have, reducing our lifestyle to save is not only, I think, very difficult. I never like to say that we've got to reduce our lifestyle today because of putting money away for tomorrow. We know we have these problems. Many times we just don't know how to solve them. But listen, even if you don't work with me, you'll still have these problems. Your saving investment, increasing your dollars will not eliminate transfer problems. See, these inefficiencies that you have will stay and continue to compound. So any growth or true effectiveness then will be erased. If you don't eliminate the areas of transfers where we're giving money away needlessly and unnecessarily, they'll grow right along with your bathtub full of money. So work with me or not, look at the transfer problems or not, these problems are going to continue to grow no matter how fine a series of investments you think you might be able to locate. Listen, I've been in the business 50 years, served a time with Merrill Lynch at the right here and at the Board of Trade. So hitting those home runs are always awfully difficult, and if you've got money that's guaranteed you, let's take care of what we can take care of and then put some of those additional dollars at risk. One of the things they talk about is, of course, in order to become successful financially, you've got to have a plan, you've got to save, you've got to invest, and you've got to compound your money. Very rarely do I find people that are doing that. Okay, folks, it's a beautiful day. We're going to have a beautiful week. We've got a couple of nice months coming. Don't forget the program's heard on Thursdays rather than Fridays. Thank John DeVita. Thank the wonderful listeners who have emailed and called us during the week. Don't forget your Social Security report. And ready or not, here I come for the 10-minute analysis of the dollars available at retirement. Thanks for listening. Have a great week, and look forward to talking to you again next week. Make somebody smile.
When you're smiling, when you're smiling, when you're smiling, when you're smiling, and the whole world smiles with you. And when you're laughing, oh, you're laughing, when the sun comes shining through. When you're crying, you bring on the rain, stop your sighing. Won't you be happy again? When you're smiling, keep on smiling, and the world will smile with you. Let's go now.
You have been listening to Wealth and Wisdom with Fred Belcastro from the John DeVita Broadcast Center on Jack FM 89.7, WRHS FM Norwich, and the Windy City Hometown Entertainment Network on Thursday, June the 4th, the year 2015. This broadcast was directed by John DeVita. Our special thanks to radio station manager Kevin Zeflik of WRHS FM Norwich and the executive producer of Windy City Hometown Entertainment, Mr. John Secondo. Until next time, please be safe and thanks for listening. This broadcast was pre-recorded on Wednesday, June the 3rd, the year 2015. Have a good day, everyone. And this is Jack FM 89.7, WRHS FM, Norwich, Illinois.